Yeah, there we go. Oh, then I'm going to close off my thing once it goes live. All right, guys, hold on 1 second. Zoom is working its magic. And away we go there. And I have so many Google Chrome profiles that I had to get to the right one to get my streaming account. Too many things going on. All right, now we're rock and roll. Now we're broadcasting across the world here. And then another thing I'm gonna do is get my usually I'm a little faster with this stuff, guys. As you guys
So
know.
what we're broadcasting is going to be in Mars and the moon, everywhere. How far is it going to go?
All the planets.
Yeah, I mean, your buddy Rob Stanley would be proud of me. I'll be out on YouTube. It'll be.
So you're broadcasting this on what's called StreamYard or Yardstream, whatever it's called.
Similar, yeah. Restreamer.
Nice.
Yeah, Restreamers also, and then recording here too. So, all right, awesome, everyone. So we're streaming a few different spots here into some of our private Facebook community as well too for our coaching members. But just want to officially kick it off here on our live training this week here. Excited. Joey began to tee it up there too, but Yoni is really a leader, thought leader in the industry. If you guys go to an event, I'd say he probably would know. I would almost feel like there's 100% chance you're going to see Yoni or someone from the Get Tita team is going to be represented there. And what's cool is they're like really like just supportive and kind of part of the community. They just like trying to help each other out in any way, not even necessarily around Get Tita, but just trying to help people out and jump in. And it's a lot of fun too. So I've enjoyed getting to be around Yoni and his team the last couple of years. But for the purpose of tonight, we're going to get down to it. Is really about some ways to you guys can really drive, some increased profitability in your business. And there's a lot of things with Amazon. We call it like there's not one thing that's like super hard, super complex, but there's lots of little things that if you don't have covered, really add up and kind of separate the really successful people from that. But Yoni is the CEO and co-founder of Get Tita. Maybe if Yoni, if you don't mind doing a brief introduction, and pretty much we'll hand it off to you, and Joey and I will be here to watch the chat and help any way we need to.
You got it. Sounds good. So thank you again, guys, Jamie and Joey, for having me today. I'm humbled and appreciate everybody's time and attention and all the setup behind the scenes. Before I jump into the slides, I guess a little bit about myself. As you mentioned today, I'm one of the co-founders and CGO of Get Tita. CGO is for Chief Growth Officer. Some like to joke about it and call me the Chief Gangster Officer or Chief Get Tita Officer. But it's actually a Chief Growth Officer. And actually, Get Tita was born from my activities as Amazon seller. So today we don't sell on Amazon anymore. But in a nutshell, about a decade ago, we started selling online. Back in the day, the main arena for us was eBay. And then 2013, we started selling on Amazon. And the business grew very, very quickly from 0 to 20 million in FBA sales. And then we became a part of a larger group that together as a group, we're doing about 100 million annually on FBA revenue. And what happened was that we had so much data coming in with all of our auditing needs for all the transactions, because we constantly had to check if our inventory is doing well, right? If anything got lost, damaged, destroyed, disappeared, all these issues that happened with FBA and needed to get reimbursements. So we had so much data coming in daily that we couldn't use spreadsheets anymore. They started breaking. So that pushed us to create two things. First thing was technology, invest in technology so we can handle the data at scale every day. And the second thing was to create a dedicated team that constantly manages this issue, and that's it. So we created the solution for ourselves, because high level we discovered that the issues on an annual basis is between 1 to 3% from our revenue. So when we're doing $1 million a year, we have to recover in refunds 10 to 30,000. When we're doing 100 million, that's 1 to 3 million that we have to recover annually, right? So that was material enough for us to invest in technology and a dedicated team to create the solution. So in short, we created the solution for ourselves. We're friendly people, as you guys, Jamie, mentioned, and we told a few of our friends from the industry that we had these capabilities. They told us, help us, we'll pay you. And that was the early genesis of Get Tita back in 2015. Over the years, it was just growing organically because it was very easy for sellers to connect with us because it's free to join, it's free to stay. We only charge a few best in performers. I'm going to discuss more about that later if needed. But what happened was we had two successful businesses. We decided with one business, the retail, to cash out. and just focus on helping sellers all over the world with this issue of Amazon discrepancies and FBA discrepancies. And we put all our attention, motivation, energy, skills, and talent just in one track. And from that point on, I would say, humbly say that we kind of took leadership on this niche, and the niche is called Amazon FBA auditing and reimbursements. So today, fast forward, we audit billions of dollars worth of transactions every single day with Getira, with our system. We're an authorized solution provider by Amazon, and then we have 130 plus team members in 6 countries, and so we really kind of do a lot of things at scale. But let's put all of that beside us. And today's meal is really gonna be in focus for you guys, the sellers, and how you can really boost your profit with a few strategies and techniques and options that are available on the marketplace that I think that's important for you guys to be aware of. So I guess that being said, should I share my slides? Are we good to go?
Absolutely. Make sure you're, you should be, see if you can.
I'll check it out later. Let me,
You can go ahead and share it and see if sometimes it will say, I want to make sure.
Always disable participant screen sharing.
Yeah. I always get that little fun thing here. Let me get,
worst case, make me host, and when I'm done, I'll make you host so we can wrap it up.
Yeah, exactly. I know. It's funny. It used to never happen like that, but now, and it blocks it off from doing it. But that's all right. I can fix that, just like you said. Where's the little shield thing? Yeah. All right, we'll do it that way exactly. Oops.
There you go. I think I'm good. Let me know if you guys see my screen. You guys see it?
It's coming up.
All right.
Yep. There we are.
What do you guys see? The how to boost profits and minimize fees, or you see my tax return? What do you guys see?
Tax return, man. Holy cow, you made a lot of money.
How to boost profits and fees. We can see it.
Okay, great. So welcome in. All right, so let's kind of continue to the next slide real quick. Well, by the way, how are we doing on time? Let me know the time. I want to be sensitive to everybody's time, so a little bit of word of that, so I can know how to manage the scale here.
Yeah, I mean, generally, we try to keep it around like an hour or less.
You got it. Sounds good. Perfect.
Cool.
That's what kind of framed it. So it's all good. All right. So a little bit more about Getira, not about myself anymore. Right. So what's Getira? Is it Getira? Is it Getaira? How do you say it? It doesn't really matter. It's just an acronym. It stands for Get Idea, which is Get Intelligent Data Analytics. We like to see ourselves as a global leader in FBA auditing and reimbursements for the simple fact that we operate on a global level, which means that if you sell on Amazon, US, Mexico, UK, EU, all that stuff, we can help you with. We are an award-winning company. We won the Gold Award from the Americans Business Awards, but also the Inc. 5000. We're number 215 ranked fastest growing companies in America. We have a dedicated team of claims specialists. A big part of our team are former Amazon employees who used to work in the FBA reimbursements department. We track and monitor our recovery rate. So it's typically over 80%. So for every 10 cases we open for refunds, more than 8 cases typically get reimbursed. As we mentioned earlier, we take a lot of pride in sponsoring a lot of industry events to help promote education for sellers so they become better sellers and better business owners. So if you want to check out the next event, just visit getira.com/events. We do have 2 podcast shows. One of them is Sellernomics, and the other one is Prime Talk. We have, leading figures from the, e-commerce industry. I do recommend that you guys check out Jamie Davidson's episode. He was a guest, an amazing story. Yeah. And then see if you like anybody else's story over there. It's pretty cool. I think I should have Joey at some point also. So this is an official live invitation for Joey to be a guest of the show. We can button up the things later after this event. Yeah, I'm looking forward to hear a story. Even though I kind of heard, we were spending some time together in Texas recently. I heard a lot of things, some of it, but I want to hear all of it, and I'll be excited to record it and put it out there so everybody can be exposed to that as well. Fascinating success stories. In any case, the last one here is we like to make our solutions affordable for all sellers at any stage. So whether you're a newbie or doing millions of dollars or tens of millions or hundreds or even over $1 billion, no problem. It's free to join Getira. It's free to stay with Getira. We only charge a fee based on recovery. So, it's only performance based and no subscription or anything. So it's pretty much very affordable. And we are also an authorized, service provider with Amazon. So you can find us in the Amazon App Store. And what does that mean? It means kind of 2 things. The first thing it means that we have a commitment to you guys, the sellers, but also to Amazon to make sure that we're terms of service compliant, data security, private policy. We have to perform on the highest level. Basically, it means that we're like Amazon sellers, right? We're bound to all of Amazon's policies, but on the solution providing side for you guys. So keep that in mind. So any kind of solution that you're looking for your Amazon business, and especially when it involves software, I don't know if you guys know this, but you can just visit the Amazon Seller App Store and you'll find all these companies there. So it's a good place to start to see which companies are bound to Amazon's policies. And if somebody's not, bound to Amazon policies, maybe you want to look at the app store, see who are, according to standards, so you get better results. And we're also available at Amazon SPN, the service provider network. And okay, all right. So I want to make a few announcements here that I think are pretty crucial and vital for having a successful Amazon business, especially an FBA, and especially for upcoming Q4. Q4 is really around the corner, so check it out. Amazon gave a notice that effective April 1st of this year, and it's not an April Fool's joke, right? They're telling you, I'm going to read it. It's Amazon's words, but I'm going to translate it to English. Even though it's English, it's an Amazonian. So I'll make everything very clear for you guys. So it tells you like this: if you send canceled or deleted shipments to Amazon, your shipments may be rejected, or your ability to send us additional shipments to FBA, right, might be suspended. Okay, let's check it out. The following actions lead to additional processing, handling, and rerouting, which can delay the receipt of your inventory and its availability for sale. Okay, so here's what kind of the things that it's a big no-no. They don't want you to do. The first one is deleting shipment plans after you approve them. Second is misrouting shipments. 3, sending incomplete shipments, such as shipments that are canceled or deleted status. Okay, that was all in Amazonian. In English, this is what it means. You know how, Jamie, you want to ship 1,000 units to Amazon's fulfillment center, and Amazon tells you, okay, 300 of them shipped to Florida, another 300 shipped to North Carolina, another 100 to California, 5 to Texas, and 3 to Colorado. So you know these ones, the 5 here, 3 there, you don't want to do it. So you ship it to all the rest of them, and the rest of the and those small ones, you either don't ship it, or you cancel that little shipment, or you delete it, right? So basically, when you do that, you're messing up Amazon's algorithm, and especially the algorithm that wants to create a 1 or 2 day prime shipping for its consumers, for its users. So they're telling you that like this is game over. You better stop it, but stop it now. Anything that I tell you to ship and where I tell you to ship it, you ship it. If you don't, I might basically reject your shipment altogether, or your ability to send to FBA will be suspended. Okay, because all these issues cause delays. So you've been warned, now you're educated, now you know. So if it's yourself or your 3PL or your factory in China, whoever it is, if any of them played games with Amazon's shipping system, it stops now. Why? Because you don't want to get in trouble and really have your account suspended to receive FBA, because selling an FBA is still an option, but typically not the most preferred option that you want when selling on Amazon. So hopefully this was an announcement that you guys are all aware of, and it will make you guys more professional from this point on. So let's move forward. Okay, inflation is a big thing right now. Amazon has its own inflation issues going on. So they announced also very, very recently, August 16, a day after my birthday, thank God, and not on my birthday. They announced that the holiday peak fulfillment fee. Okay, so FBA fee increase. I'm going to read it in English, and then we'll translate to, I'm going to read it in Amazonian and translate to English. So for many years, we have continued to evolve how we change fulfillment fees to better reflect understanding operational costs while ensuring to provide great value for sellers. We look ahead to prepare for busy holiday shopping season. We expect greater utilization of our fulfillment network. In other words, FBA is going to basically grow and boost, right? Across supply chain. This creates increased operating costs during the holiday peak period. So this is the beginning of the warning to tell you for Q4, for November, December. Let's see what they say actually. So as a result, similar to other major carriers, we will introduce a holiday peak fulfillment fee for FBA, right, from October 15 all the way to January 14. The fee will be on an average of 35 cents per item sold, per unit, basically, that you sell on FBA, using US and Canada FBA for specific fee size. Look over here, over there. So you have been warned. So on average, it's going to be approximately 35 cents per unit that you sell. Is going to expect those fees to apply those timeframes. So here was what I recommend. I recommend that whatever profit calculations and margin calculations you guys had in mind for your product you're about to source, launch, or sell in Q4, and especially in October, November, December, make sure you to find out exactly what the fee is for all your ASINs, so you can adjust accordingly. And your pricing, if you need to raise a little pricing, do that. You understand? And you expect it for margins, or you might lose some money on products, and you can avoid actually selling them all together. Maybe you consider doing that. So once again, this is kind of an announcement. I think it's worth a while paying attention to it, so you guys are fully prepared for Q4 and really optimize your profits in the right way. All right, here's the next announcement. So the first two are kind of, I would say, gently on the negative side. Here is more on the positive side. So let's see what they say here. So they're letting you know that there's a referral fee discount access, right? So referral fee discount on access inventory. We're offering a referral fee discount of up to 25% on selected ASINs to help you drive sales of excess inventory and improve your cash flow and sell-through rate. So to access the referral for a discount, go to FBA inventory, create sales or outlet deals for eligible ASINs. So if you really want to scan and check if any of your ASINs are eligible for a discount on the selling fee, just scan this code and check it out. So in other words, what Amazon is telling you that some of your ASINs, Amazon might allow you to sell them at a certain price point or discounted point where Amazon is going to charge you less in selling fees. So typically, let's say your selling fee is supposed to be 15%, and they might give you a 25% discount on your selling fee. So 25% out of 15%, how much is that? I think for selling it's like 3.75, something like that. You'll pay less in fees. Okay, so if you want to know what it is, scan this code, see if it applies to anything. If it does, use it, sell it. And if you have excess inventory, cash it out and you pay less in fees, and will allow you to be more competitive. In other words, for the discount you get from Amazon, you roll that discount to the consumers and hopefully stimulate sales and sell more products and convert it and cash it out. Any questions so far, Jamie or Joey? Thoughts, ideas? I think you got on mute, Jamie. I see your lips moving.
There we go. Yeah, I was clicking, but it wasn't working. No, so far so good. So I'll let you.
You got any questions come up, thoughts, ideas? Feel free to to butt in. It's an open discussion here, as far as I'm concerned. All right.
Yep.
Let's get moving. All right. So here's another positive announcement. This is really cool. Hopefully you guys are aware of it, but if you're not, now you are. So check it out. So they have the brand referral bonus program, right? So they're telling you to start earning a bonus and make the most out of your non-Amazon marketing. So here's what they're telling you. If you use non-Amazon marketing, such as social media, pay research, email, display ads, marketing strategy, haven't activated your brand registry bonus, you could be leaving money on the table. So here's what they're saying. The brand registry referral bonus program improves the return on your non-Amazon marketing investment by offering a bonus based on product sales driven by non-Amazon marketing. In other words, they're telling you if you're driving traffic from outside Amazon into Amazon from all of these channels, there's an opportunity for you. And here's the opportunity. While bonuses vary by product on category, on average, brands leveraging the brand referral bonus program as a part of their marketing strategy earn a bonus of 10% of product sales driven by non-Amazon marketing. In short, and in other words, if you register to this brand referral bonus program, you're going to get a special URL link, okay, or an affiliate link if you like. So if you use a link to drive traffic inside Amazon from your influence marketing, whatever it is, email blast, whatever you're using to drive traffic to Amazon, if you use that link, Amazon is going to give you 10% bonus, which is crazy. So imagine you do $1 million a year, from revenue from that URL that you're using. That's 100 grand back in your pocket. Let's spin another way. Let's say your selling fee is only 8%. You're selling electronics, right? They're going to pay you 10% bonus. So let's say you sold the product for $100 and it's supposed to charge you only $8, right? So they're not going to charge you $8, plus they're going to pay you another $2. So you actually be making money, right? Because they're charging 8%, but they're giving you 10% back. So you'll make two points extra. So which is really cool. And there's kind of no limit inside and there's no expiration date. So if you're not aware of this program and you are private label sellers or brand registry, register for this program. Make sure to use that link everywhere that you can, so you can really drive sales from outside of Amazon into Amazon and get that 10% bonus back, which is huge. And then also what happens is when you drive, it's also a signal from Amazon showing you that if you drive traffic from outside Amazon into Amazon, they like it. They're going to reward you. So also your BSR, your bill sales rank and stuff like that will also grow. And you're going to have that flywheel effect of really making good amount of money. And Amazon's really enticing you and rewarding you really, really handsomely. So keep that in mind. I think that's a great thing to rely on and push your sales through. So keep that in mind. Any thoughts on that, Jamie, or something like that before I move to the next one?
Just another good example of like kind of the little things, you guys probably, most people aren't aware of that you can take advantage of. And it's makes a big difference. Definitely.
Yeah, Yoni, when did that come out? The brand referral bonus and all
I think this announcement is from June. So in the past, almost 90 days. So that's why I like to kind of push these things in because they get swallowed in the mix. There's so many things happening all the time with Amazon. It's one of those things that you can easily overlook, but it can be humongous. If you do 10 million a year and you get 10% back, that's $1 million straight into your pocket. You can just use it to launch more products, invest more PPC, just crush everybody else who's not using it, for example.
Yeah, I mean, the only I'd add there, just this goes along with things you'll hear myself and Joey talk about, which is certainly in 2022 and 2023 about the importance of external traffic and how important it is with and you can see Amazon rewarding from that aspect as well too. So you got to think on the traffic side beyond just using PPC, within Amazon. And there's a lot of ways to do it, and we're going to bring some more insights around that. But this is a great point for everyone to just make sure you guys make note of it and remember this.
Yeah, I just want to make a point that, Amazon affiliates was a big thing back in the day, in the early age of the internet, right? And that drove a lot of traffic from outside Amazon into Amazon. But those was the days where really the resellers were big, right? And you see how Amazon evolved over the years, saying they kind of let go of that affiliate program. I don't know what they have today, actually, but it really got shrunk into a bare minimum. And they pivoted saying, we want outside traffic to come inside Amazon, but that traffic needs to be from brand owners inside Amazon, because only if you're, it's a brand referral program for your own brand. Okay, so keep that in mind. Cameron is asking about the slideshows. Yes, I'll send it to Jamie and Joey afterwards, so you guys can have it. And any questions you have with it, you also have my contact info. But the last point I want to make here is that you see that Amazon, wants that outside traffic, but it really for the private label brands that are selling on Amazon, which is you guys, which is the hottest thing today. And that's where Amazon, I guess, sees the future for its platform, with third-party sellers who are really promoting their own brands and creating a unique experience for its consumers, which is really hard to compete with. You can't really compete with Amazon like that on another marketplace. So Amazon is doing very strategic stuff here and heavily rewarding the sellers, the third-party sellers, and the private label sellers with brand registry who are doing it. So I think it's an interesting evolution here. All right, so other great exciting news here. So this is another announcement. It's called the New Seller Incentives Program. Okay, so they're telling you grow your business with new seller incentives. We're introducing new seller incentives, a suite of benefits to help you grow your brand, scale your business, and promote your products. New seller incentives is based on Amazon's perfect launch playbook. Okay, you should probably check that playbook anyway if you're launching anything. But here's the juice of it. New professional sellers who list their first product on after January 1st of 2022, right? And there's really no end this out here. There's no expiration date. That's FYI. In the United States, Japan, or Europe, UK, Germany, France, Italy, and Spain only are eligible for new sellers incentives. Existing professional sellers expanding to the US, Japan, Europe, or UK, and all these marketplaces are also eligible. So here's the juice. Through new seller incentives, eligible sellers who take the required actions can qualify for the benefits worth more than $50,000 in potential value. Benefits include the following: get a 5% bonus up to $1 million in revenue in eligible branded sales if you enroll to Amazon Brand Registry and you are identified as a brand owner. You can also receive credits for Vine and blah, blah, blah. So look, in short, what Amazon is saying is this, saying if you open a brand new account on Amazon with a brand new, brand registry, right? A brand new brand, private label brand that you're doing, and the brand new ASIN, we're going to give you, with this program, this new seller incentive program, we're going to give you a 5% bonus up to $1 million in revenue. So if you do $1 million in revenue with your, your new private label brand, with your new ASINs and new account that you're opening, you'll get 5%. It can be up to $50,000 in savings. So if you're selling in the United States right now and you have your brand, it's all good, but you're going to expand to the UK, for example, you're eligible. Vice versa, if you really launch in the UK and you're doing successfully and you want to launch and progress into the United States, you're eligible. That's what's really, really cool. And you get an opportunity to really get 5% back up to $1 million. So it's 50 grand, use it. So if you're launching new products constantly with brand new ASINs and with brand new brand names, make sure to use this program, register, so you do it the right way. And think about it. If you get 5% here for your first million, you did $1 million in revenue, you use this 5%, and then you also use this 10%, you basically pay no selling fees to Amazon whatsoever, which is huge. It's big and it's rewarding. So hopefully you guys are aware now, and whoever utilizes it and makes that money, if a few months from now, let me know. It'll be awesome to get your feedback on it. But check it out. There's no expiration date here. So Amazon is really bullish and hardcore focusing on private label brands, launching more ASINs and more products, and they're rewarding for it. Joey, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, just to clarify, so we do have some members who are doing FBA and they're waiting to get their brand registry set up, but they did launch in 2022. So can they still take advantage of all of that?
I think so. Yeah, as long as you started from January 1st and on, and eventually you'll get your brand registry. I think you should be able to reconcile that with Amazon. I'm not the expert. It's on Amazon to really finally approve it. But whoever's in the process, reach out to Amazon now to see if they can. When does it start? Does it start from the moment they approve you for the brand registry, or retroactively when you start selling? Let's say you started selling in February and you're still stuck in that brand registry, right? And only going to get it tomorrow. So are you going to start getting the bonus tomorrow, or from February? That's really the question.
Yeah.
Yeah, check with Amazon. It's a good point. And if you get it from February, boom, hooray! It's amazing.
Awesome.
All right, let's keep moving. All right, so that's it for the announcements. It's focused on, I guess, a little bit of the bad, but mostly on the good. So hopefully it was useful for you guys. And here I want to kind of get more into the meat and potato of an overview of FBA recoveries, right? This is kind of the name of the game. This is just a few of the issues that happen with your account with Amazon, and you're going to be eligible to get refunds. And of course, if you get refunds out of nowhere, that all goes to your profit, and it really boosts your profit. So you have a few points here. There's more issues, but I'm going to focus on these. These are the main ones. So the first one is FBA inbound shipments. Okay. So this is when you ship your inventory to Amazon. Let's say you shipped 1,000 units and Amazon only received 990. You need to reconcile that, right? So in the United States, you have 9 months to reconcile it, right? But if you sell in the UK or Europe, you have 6 months. So be aware of that. I'm going to dive into more of that very, very soon and explain to you guys how to do it and make money, guaranteed. And then you got lost or damaged units. You got 18 months to look into that. So basically, you're going to download reports in the past 18 months to see if Amazon lost or damaged any units of yours inside FBA. And if it did, they're going to give you refunds and reimbursements. Then you have all the customer refunds, customer service refunds. You got 18 months for that as well. FBA removal orders, when you remove your inventory from Amazon, let's say you told them, Amazon, give me my 100 units back. They only sent you back 99 units. You deserve to get a reimbursement or refund for that as well, for example. So you got 18 months for that. And here you got 3 months for weight and dimension fees. So when Amazon overcharges you with fees, especially with weight and dimensions, because they pick your units from the bin, they package it in a box and they ship it out, they charge you a fee for that. And it's typically based on your weight and dimensions. So if they have incorrect information on your weight and dimensions, they're going to charge you more. Okay, you have 3 months to reconcile that and get refunds for the past 3 months only. Okay, so this is high level overview. Make sure you play the game correctly and on time. But let's go over here and start. I'm going to actually show you guys how to do the first thing here, which is how to reconcile your FBA shipments. Okay, so this one on top. I'm going to show you step by step very quickly, and hopefully you'll be able to, after this event, if you're doing it already, kudos. If you're not, never did it, hopefully you'll be able to do it and to do it on time, and it's really going to reward you. Okay, so check it out. So you visit Amazon Sell Essential, you go to inventory, manage FBA shipments, and then it's going to show you the shipment log, right? And if you look in the shipment log on this area here, it says units expected, and then you have units received. So if you scroll down, everything kind of looks okay until you'll see something like this. Boom, needs attention. Why? You shipped 216 units, units received 0, and Amazon status closed. It means it already got delivered, it got received, and boom, now it's closed. So now that needs attention. All you got to do is click on this blue area here, and it's going to take you to the module, and it typically is going to look like this. All right, you're going to have all the product information. And you'll see that you have 216 units expected, units received 0. So you have a discrepancy of minus 216. So you see you have a drop down menu. What you want to do is, of course, if you know that you shipped it and it's missing, what you want to do is choose this option, drop down menu, and click on or choose research missing units. You want them to research, investigate, see what's going on. So that's the first thing that you're doing. And then what's going to happen is this module is going to open up either 2 of these modules or just 1 of them. So one of them can be either POD, proof of delivery, where Amazon is going to need your documents and proof of delivery, or the second option, this and that, or that, something like that. So it could be either just this or just that, or both of them. But anyways, the second one, or the third issue is the POP of proof of purchase. Okay, so it might be a little tricky or confusing, so that's why I kind of summarize these 2 options for you. So when you reconcile shipments, you're going to need one of these documents or both of them. Okay, once again, it's in Amazonian. I'll translate it to English, but let's go over on the first document that you might be required to send to Amazon. So POD, proof of delivery. For LTL or FTL shipments, so LTL is less than truckload, FTL is full truckload, or whatever, a bill of lading showing the number of boxes in the shipment and the total weight when it was picked up by the carrier. The document must be stamped by Amazon confirming that the shipment was received and signed for at the fulfillment center. So your carrier should have a copy of this document. This information helps verify that the entire shipment was picked up and shipped and delivered as expected to Amazon. So in other words, a POD of proof of delivery is typically a bill of lading document that has Amazon stamp that it got delivered into Amazon's fulfillment center. And usually that stamp has Amazon's logo, that smiley. So if you need to reconcile a shipment and you need that document, this is what it is. So make sure your carriers, whoever you're using, has that. If they tell you, oh, I don't even know what you're talking about, better not to use them, because if let's say you ship 100 grand worth of inventory and it completely got lost in Amazon's fulfillment center, you cannot provide them with the POD or proof of delivery. They're not going to reconcile a shipment and they're not going to pay you a penny. So keep that in mind. By the way, you can scan this code and look further into Amazon's policy and rules and all POP and PODs, all that stuff. Now let's go over POP, proof of purchase. Okay. So Amazon requires the following documents to be submitted with the research request. Okay, proof of inventory ownership. Okay, which in other words, POP, proof of purchase, or Amazon internally they call this POO, POO, proof of ownership. Okay, so proof of inventory ownership will help identify any potential discrepancies that may have occurred. Some examples of acceptable documents are an invoice from a supplier, receipt from another seller, or signed packing slip if you are a manufacturer. Okay, and when you submit this document, the following information must be provided: date of purchase, product name matching the missing quantities, missing products and quantity. Okay, here's a little bit of a pro tip Amazon's giving you. If you're providing an invoice, you don't want to show them the cost of goods, right? How much you pay for it, you can obscure it. You can like remove the pricing information. So after reading all this in Amazonian, I'll make it simple for you guys. A proof of purchase can be either an invoice, one option, the immediate suspect, but if you guys are private label sellers with brand registry, instead of an invoice, you don't need an invoice anymore. You don't have to show them or disclose your supplier anymore. Instead of an invoice, you can send them a packing slip. Okay, a packing slip is a simple document that says, hey, this is my company information. This is what I shipped. I signed that I shipped it and that date, boom, that's a packing slip. Very, very simple. So you can provide that to Amazon much more quickly, much more securely, and you don't have to disclose an invoice or your supplier or anything like that. Okay, so questions on this, Jamie, thoughts, ideas? Because this is kind of a game changer. A lot of sellers, they don't realize what Amazon really needs. So hopefully now you guys know what's POD and what's POP. And especially on the POP, the proof of purchase, the immediate things they want to do, yeah, I'll give them an invoice. But they don't want to give them an invoice because they don't want to disclose the supply information or who the supplier is and how much they cost, or they don't want to go back and forth and pick out all that information. So you don't need to. You have, a packing slip is much easier to set up. Every shipment you send out, boom, a packing slip, send it to them. It should be much, much easier. But Jamie, what do you think? Thoughts, ideas on this? Do you know all this or no?
I mean, I'm familiar with the kind of the high level of it, but I guess I put this in a category for like a lot of people. As you're selling on Amazon, it's like most people, you don't want to become an expert on this stuff, right? It's like, it's kind of like a necessary evil or a necessary process. And there's things with that. Sometimes some of the, with logistics and the items, because you're dealing with physical products and get lost and damaged and they've got to be received and accounted for. So, at the end of the day, most of you guys just like, hey, I just want this stuff to be accounted for and accurate. Matter of fact, a lot of you guys probably thought like, oh, I didn't even know. If you weren't familiar with it, you wouldn't even know. Like you wouldn't know what you don't know. So you're kind of like peeling back, some of the complexity behind it. But then, for you guys here, the solution, is really like, hey, give me a solution that I don't have to really worry too much about this stuff. So you can worry about more,
Yeah. So with that in mind, I want to do, mention here that of course you guys, we encourage the sellers to do as much as they can to go on their own to reconcile everything and to get all the refunds and reimbursements. We do encourage that. We educate that just like right now. I'm actually showing you exactly what to do and how to do and explain all the nuances. But of course, if this is too much for you guys, too much of a headache, you don't even want to hear about it, or you don't know where to begin, right? And you have no capacity, there are solutions out there that help with all of this. It happens to be that Gitira will one of them. So if you need help, we'll be happy to help you. So in our platform and in our system, there's tools that we have built in to help you with all of it. For example, for all these shipments that you ship in, instead of providing invoices, you can provide a packing slip. If you want to provide a packing slip, we have a tool inside of our platform that with a few clicks, it just generates it for you. So packing slips, within 3 clicks, you got everything that you need to reconcile your shipment. Instead of, giving invoices or creating your own packing slips, which can take hours, days, weeks, months, it depends on your volume. With a few minutes, once a month, you got everything that you need. So it's a little bit of part of kind of the Gitira magic. But of course, this is the main idea here with the POD, POP. So hopefully now you guys are pros. Now you guys know, the difference. You know how to play it out. You reconcile all your shipments, and every dollar that you owe in reimbursements, you're getting it. If you owe $100, $1,000, $10,000, $10,000, $100,000. If you guys also can share with me how much you're able to recover after we finish the session, I'll appreciate it as well, because I think it's valuable. It's real money. Okay, so now I want to kind of dive into the second opportunity, how to make money with the second type of issue. This is to reconcile all your FBA loss and damage units in the past 18 months. Here, things, I'll be honest, become a bit more sophisticated, more complex. and especially because you have to know how to manipulate data on Excel. So my assumption is, for whoever's listening or watching this, you know how to manipulate data, you know how to use Excel very well. Of course, if you don't, there are solutions. We'll be happy to help you. But I'm going to explain to you guys the logic based on the fact that I assume that you guys are really good with Excel. But of course, if also you want to learn on, find this Amazon instructions on Sell Essential, you can scan this code and you get more information. But here we go. Let's start. So Amazon gives you a window of 18 months to look back and download all the reports and data to see any of your units that inside FBA that got lost or damaged. I do want to highlight that once Amazon receives your inventory inside the fulfillment center, inside the center, with your units can still get lost or damaged, and you have to discover that. Okay, and it can also get lost and damaged between the warehouses, because sometimes Amazon might ship your products from Kentucky to California, or California to Nevada, to spread out your products for 1 or 2 day prime shipping. Those your units can get lost and damaged as well. Also from the fulfillment centers to the consumers, when the orders come in, consumers back to Amazon with all the refunds, and from Amazon back to you guys with removals. All these logistical friction points, they can be lost or damaged units that you have to go back 18 months and reconcile for. Okay, so this is the claim window that you get 18 months, and this is how Amazon explains to you the logic. So it tells you before you submit a claim, okay, because you can't just open a claim and say, hey, you owe me money or something happened. This is what you want you to do before that. So basically telling you, download these 3 reports, and the first report is called inventory adjustment report. Okay, you download it, and then inside this report, you got to fish out all the units that got lost or damaged. That typically you filter, and there's a code for the lost units and another code for the damaged units. So for the sake of the logic, to keep it simple, you find all the codes for the lost units. So you found the lost unit, great. That's simple, right? Then the second report is called Manage FBA Inventory Report. You download it, and in this report, you got to see if that lost unit from the first report got found. If it got found, that's it. You're done. You don't do anything else. If it did not get found, you move on to the third report, which is the reimbursement report, to see if it got paid. If it got paid, you stop. So once again, it got lost, never got found, it got paid, you stop. But if it did not get paid and reimbursed, you continue. Then you submit your claim. Okay, so once again, the logic, to recap, you have a lost unit, never got found, and never got reimbursed / paid, you can submit a claim. That's how you research and reconcile your lost or damaged units. Okay, and of course, once you found out there's still a discrepancy, you open a case with Amazon. Amazon will review, and of course, if you're eligible, they're going to pay you a reimbursement. Okay, and this can be thousands, tens of thousands of dollars worth, or more over the past 18 months. Depends on your volume. Okay, so keep that in mind. But in addition to all that, I do want to mention that if you don't know how to manage Excel and all that headache, okay, if you don't want to filter everything out, you can do one by one, whatever. So in other words, in the first report, you can just take the inventory adjustment report, find all these codes, all these issues, and then there's a tool. Amazon created 2 tools, right? I'll show you. This is the tool where you can copy paste all the transaction IDs for the damaged units, and this tool will reconcile and tell you if you're eligible for a claim or not. And the bottom one is for the lost units. Okay, you put the FNSQ, and it'll tell you it's going to reconcile and tell you if you can open a case or not. So you have to just copy paste, and reconcile the whole file. If you can't really do an Excel in bulk, that's kind of the idea. And if you want access to these tools, just scan this code, and we'll get immediate access to these tools. And once again, too much of a headache. With Getito, we're able to clean that up for you seamlessly with no issues at all. Questions, thoughts about this, Jamie? Sexy stuff. I know it's really sexy, right?
Yes. No thoughts or comments along similar lines as my comments before. But again, like I said, all this stuff is good to. I guess again, it's important for everyone to know. Like again, even if you're going to manage it, or it's important for you guys to kind of see the level of detail behind and how this stuff works.
Yeah, put all together, it could be all this stuff together. It could be 1 to 3% from your revenue. So whatever your revenue run out annual in FBA, just do 1 to 3%. That's the opportunity that you have to recover. Once you flush yourself, and recover all the money and put it back in your pocket, boom, your profits can jump up dramatically. I'll show some more examples later. But yeah, let's move on to the next tip here. All right, so here's a few do's and do not do's if you really want to do this on your own and opening claims. So also I have a question here from Carmen coming in. Okay, how often would you reconcile? So our technology, your Amazon account gets reconciled daily across the board. All our users get reconciled daily. What you want to do is you want to reconcile on time. So based on the time frames that you have. So for FBA shipments coming in. You have 9 months in the US, you have 6 months in UK. I recommend as soon as possible because you want to get your money back and use it. You don't want it to, lag behind and not get your money, and even worse, let it expire, miss out. Okay, so as soon as possible based on the time that it's available for you. And yeah, Albert was mentioning like drinking from a fire hose. So anybody who was a firefighter here, that would be a pretty good position to be in because a lot more is coming up. All right, so here are some do's and don't do's with managing cases. All right, so like I mentioned also right now to Carmen, open cases in a timeline provided so you don't miss out. Reply to open cases instead of opening new cases. So if you find an issue, you open a case for it, and then you kind of want to follow up and touch base on it. Don't just open a new case for it. Just look at the old case that you open and kind of reply there, so Amazon doesn't get confused and blows everything out of the water. And stay professional, right? Just keep it focused. And then don't do is right. Don't open a case without Amazon prematurely. Remember how I told you that Amazon tells you before you submit a case, right? Here's what you got to do. You should do that, right? You don't want to take an Excel file and say, hey, all of these you owe me money. Okay, so they're gonna say no. This we don't owe you. This we don't owe you. There's gonna be an issue for you. It's not gonna reflect well on your account. Don't be pushy with Amazon seller support. Okay, don't open a case for the same issue twice. In other words, you open a case and Amazon said no, you're not eligible for this or that reason. Okay, and basically you say, you know what? Let me do this. Let me open 10 cases for the same issue. Maybe one of the case, seller support guys is just gonna give me by mistake, whatever, because in the rush, whatever it is, they're gonna basically give me money. Okay, and I can be pushy, say, hey, you owe me money, there's an issue, owe me money, until they give me money or they pay me a reimbursement. Okay, and you open more than one case for the same issue, right? You just open a lot of them until they kind of I guess make a mistake or something and pay you out. That's not the way to go. You don't want to do that. It's not going to reflect well on your account, and Amazon might take actions against you. So the long story short, don't try to game the system. Stay honest. If you're eligible to get reimbursement, you will. If you're not, just move on. It's not a way to make money. It's simply a way to get your money that you're eligible to get it. So if you're eligible, you get it. If not, it's not. Don't game the system, because over the years, past 7-8 years, we saw how some sellers kind of game the system. I'm going to give you another small example. They constantly say, you know what, Jamie, I'm going to ship, I'm going to tell Amazon that I'm shipping 1,000 units, but I'm only going to ship out 990. I'm always going to have a few units missing, always, repetitively. Right? So it might work once and Amazon pays you reimbursement, twice, 3, 4, 5. All the way they see kind of there's a repetitive theme where basically you're always constantly short. They're going to see it's kind of a modus operandi for you. It's a way for you to make money, and they just one clear this is suspend your account because they know that you're kind of playing games with them. We've seen this happen in the past. Sellers had to kind of admit that they were messing up purposely, unpurposely, it doesn't matter. Amazon tells you whatever you tell us that you ship should be there. Okay, and then you should always be able to prove it and have all the documents to support that. Okay, so stay honest, don't game the system. The shortest way to success is really the honest way, and I strongly support that. All right, let's keep moving forward. Let's see if my slides still carry on or not. Okay, here's a little bit of a difference, high level difference between the orange and the apple or the orange, apple to apples, orange to oranges. I don't know how to, I'm an immigrant, so I don't know how you guys say this in English, but Amazon US and UK or EU are not really exactly the same. It's not apples to apples. It's more like orange to apples. So while total FBA refund levels are very, very similar between the marketplaces, there are key differences between the marketplace worth mentioning. Okay, so here are the key ones. So most must reconcile FBA shipments in the EU only 6 months versus 9 months in the UK. Sorry, in the United States. That's pretty clear. We mentioned that earlier. For the shipment that you ship to FBA, you have 6 months EU, 9 months USA. Fine. Be attentive to metric and imperial system. Okay, systems when auditing FBA fees: meters versus centimeters, grams versus feet, inches, and pounds. Okay, well, of course we have different metric systems to measure, weight and dimensions. So when you ship your products to Amazon in the UK or the US or EU, make sure when you submit your information on the size and weight and dimensions of your products, you do it in the right metric system. Because if you don't, you might make a mistake that's going to cost you a lot of money. For example, your product is supposed to be, let's say, 1 pound. So 1 pound is actually 400 grams. It's less. But instead of pounds, you say 1 kilo, which makes it 2.2 pounds. So all of a sudden, you're double you're telling Amazon my product is actually twice as heavy than it actually is. And because of that, Amazon's going to start overcharging you with fees for fulfillment fees. So keep that in mind. So when you're using all these metric systems, And yeah, another thing to mention is just so you guys know, if you sell in other marketplaces, let's say like Germany or Italy that has other languages, and not English, don't worry. If you find an issue, you can open a case in English across all marketplaces, which is pretty cool. Keep that in mind. So you don't have to be bound by a language. All right, let's keep moving forward. Okay, now I want to quickly touch a $5 million case study for a $5 million seller. So how do we know it's a $5 million seller? They sold $219,000 worth of orders in the past 2 weeks. So, if you put it for the months, it's 440,000 times 12 months. It's about, 5 million a year. And we have this beautiful blue area of all the money coming in. And then we unfortunately have the red area where all the money is coming out with Amazon fees. And if you look closely, you see the FBA fees look very thin. But it's actually kind of misleading. And why? Because Amazon's fees is very, very thick. It took a lot of money. There's actually FBA fees hiding inside there. So let's show you where it's hiding. Okay. You'll see that all the fees, 77,000. You'll see that 43,000 out of 77,000, which is almost 20%, is FBA fees. And these FBA fees are the fulfillment fees. Okay. The pick and pack fee. It's when Amazon's picking your unit from the bin, they're packaging in a box, shipping it out. The fulfillment fees, it's a heavyweight champion. When it comes to fees, it's a heavyweight champion, of all the fees. And it's if we do a quick summary here, you'll see that almost 20% just on those fees, and then the rest of the FBA fees. And if you attach it along the 15% selling fee, you'll see that 35% of all the sellers' revenue are in Amazon fees, which are burning through the margins. 1.75 a year in annual fees. Okay, so I don't want to depress anybody, but there's another universe that most of you guys are probably very focused on, which is all the PPC spend, which adds more Amazon costs or Amazon fees. So typically you have a lot of data, a lot of education about minimizing your costs and your advertising costs, right? So you make more profit, hopefully, and spend less, right? I'm taking you to the other side of the universe. It's the FBA universe, where you have to kind of know where the fees are laying. And I want to give you guys simple strategies to be able to reduce them. Because imagine if you reduce this 35% to 30%, boom, from the 5 million, 5% is $250,000, boom, extra in your pocket. So any percentage point that you lower in fees will go straight to your bottom line, to your profit, which is very, very powerful. So I do encourage every one of you guys to know where you are right now with fees, and especially the FBA fees, to see if there's an opportunity to reduce it. So let's see if there is an opportunity to reduce it. So here's a quick strategy, right? Let's go back to the basics. So now that we know that Amazon fees are based on the weight and dimensions of the individually packaged products, so all we got to do is package smaller, lighter, and smarter, right? If you guys are private label sellers and you have a direct relationship with your factory and you guys are actually producing the stuff, so look on Amazon's spectrum of fees or the tiers. And if your product is borderline, it's half inch away, or 1 inch, or 2 or 3 inches away from being in a lower tier, which Amazon will charge you much, much less in fees, do it. Change your packaging, make it lighter or smaller, whatever you can do to reduce it, so you really make much more margin, much more profit. So I'm going to give 2 basic examples here where you can be creative and really save a lot of money. So for example, if you're shipping this ball, the soccer ball, or for Europe it's football, right? And it's when it's inflated to 60 inches, let's say, and Amazon is charging you $10 every time you sold a unit, $10, right? But if, like this gentleman, you deflate the ball and now it's only 5 inches, right, in dimensions, now they might be charging you only $3 per unit. So you have a $7 unit per unit cost savings if you do it right, if you play it right. Or you might be overpaying $7 per unit if you don't really ship it the right way. So you sold 10,000 units. That's $70,000 of overpayment and fees if you don't really use the right strategy, right? Second example is there's a pair of jeans, right? You can send it all rolled up, and then it's 100 inches long, and Amazon's charging you $30 per unit. Or you roll this up and you put in a shrink wrap, and now it's only, let's say, 8 inches. So Amazon's only charging you $6 per unit. So over here you have like tremendous amount of cost savings if you really play it right. Okay, so whatever your strategy is right now with making your products, look to see if there's an opportunity for you to ship smaller, lighter, and smarter. So don't forget, this is really helpful with FBA to make a lot of impact, because we know that the FBA pick and pack and fulfillment fees are the king of all fees. They're the heavyweight champions. So if you can reduce any of it, it's a fortune right back into your pocket. That's one layer. Second layer is global logistics. Not only Amazon works that way. Any carrier that you're using from the factory to Amazon is going to charge you less fees, because you're going to be able to ship more products, right, for the pallets or the containers that you're shipping to FBA. So keep that in mind. So it's a great strategy to have, especially now with times of inflation and stuff like that. Hopefully you'll be able to adopt the strategy and really make it big. I do want to give a small example. You know how sometimes, Jamie, I don't know if you ever bought a mattress online, but especially those foam mattresses. Did you ever buy those?
Not online.
Like Casper,
I think I know where you're going to go, but go ahead.
Yeah, when you buy this stuff online, like Casper, I don't know if any of you did it, but you get it like this, right? It's like this size. And then when you open it up, what happens? Poof, it just jumps on you. Exactly. And that's the reason why they shrink it all together. So logistically, they pay the very minimum they can't pay, with logistics and transportation. So that's what they do with the big guns. So if you want to really be like the big guns, that's where you should have it kind of in mind and have the right strategy. And don't overlook it, especially if you're really a few inches away, a few ounces away from paying a whole lower dimensional weight and fees. It's going to make wonders to your bottom line.
Yeah,
So keep
just
that in
to
mind.
add there, I mean, along those lines, I mean, years back when with our cell phone cases, for us, it was, we got into retail, and that can be a good opportunity, but the retail had, the packaging requirements were different in terms of like, it had to be able to hang up on things for things. We got to the point that we said, like, screw it. It's like messing up our Amazon costs too much to have these different designs and packaging. So we just said it's actually worth it to not sell in retail and just really optimize the packaging of our Amazon sales. So similar approach.
Yep. That's very good. All right, so let's keep moving here. All right, so now that you guys played like the pros and you strategize to make sure you get the lowest within dimensional fees on your product, that's the first thing you got to do. Second thing is you got to keep in mind that you got to track the dimensions, because over time they might change. Okay, it can be a various amount of reasons why. I'm going to give you two reasons just to kind of stimulate the thought here. One reason could be an honest mistake, because what happens is that every few weeks or months, Amazon is going to scan your products in a big machine called a cubic scan machine. So let's say your product is a handbag and it has a strap hanging loose, and that strap is adding 20, 30 inches, right? Boom, Amazon is going to recalculate your size and the weight of dimensions, and boom, they're going to start overcharging you. So that can be an honest mistake, but you have to catch it and fix it on time. So if they start overcharging you, you open a case. So going forward, they stop the overcharges, you stop the bleeding. And of course, you got to go back 90 days to get the refunds for the overcharger if they overcharged you. Now, the second example is maybe you're being attacked. So I sell the same thing that you sell, Jamie, right? And we both have the same price point, let's say $30 per item. But what I do to you, I attack you. How do I attack you? I take your ASIN. I list it under my Amazon Seller Central account. I never really actually offer it out. All I do is I log into that ASIN and I change the weight and dimensions and say, hey, instead of 6 inches, it's 60 inches. Instead of being 9 ounces, it's 9 pounds. All of a sudden, Amazon recalculates your fees, and boom, you're overpaying in fees, and I'm killing you head to head. I'm making money. You're actually being burned with your margins, or even worse, losing money. And if you don't catch this on time, because you got to check for this every 90 days, let's say you check it once a year, for example, Jamie, and over the year, they overcharge you $100,000, but in the past 90 days, they only charge you $30,000. That's what you're going to get. You're only going to get $30,000 out of $70,000. You're never going to see back. Okay, so we've seen this also, how sellers get attacked and stuff like that. So long story short, you should check at least every 90 days to see if Amazon overcharged you. And if they did, take action. And of course, this is too much for you guys, too much of a headache. We know if once you log into Getir onto our platform, we'll be on the lookout for you guys. So whenever there is a change not in your favor, we take action to cover out for you guys. All right, so here's some free tools for Amazon sellers. You can just scan this code or go visit getir.com/ebook. You'll get a package with a few things. One of them is an ebook to how to read an Amazon income statement, all the money that's coming in and all the money that's coming out. You should know all about it. You don't want to know about it, your bookkeeper should know about it. If they don't want to know about it, at least your CPA should know about it. Okay, so you got to really reconcile all the cash and stuff like that. And the second thing is, a profit loss template, so you can put all your business expenses there and see if you're really making money or losing money. So this is a nice package you guys can use. And then here's a few points I want to kind of make on the refunds. Okay, the first point I mentioned earlier, high level for you guys to remember. All these refund issues, discrepancies issues can range between 1 to 3% from your revenue, which means for every 100 units you ship to Amazon's fulfillment center, 1 to 3 units is going to experience an issue that you have to audit for, find it, catch it, and open a case and reconcile with Amazon and get paid if you're eligible. Okay. Second point, as a recap, Amazon allows you up to 8 months or 9 months or 6 months or 3 months, depends on the category of the issue. So don't miss out. Make sure you do it on time. And then, of course, if you open cases with Amazon, you need documents. Make sure you're given the right documents. We touched on the PODs, the proof of deliveries, and also the POPs, the proof of purchases. So now you guys know all about it. So if they need it, give it to them. Okay. Now, if you ever wonder why you might still need help with auditing, after I taught you how to audit, these are more things we look into. So if any of these things look foreign to you, unfamiliar, stuff like that, it probably means that you're leaving money behind in refunds. So there's an opportunity to grab that for you and put it back in your pocket. So once again, we'll be always happy to kind of cover up for you guys if you guys need. So we'll take the pain away. You put us in, boom, money back in your pocket. Now look, here are a few points of the Getira option versus other options, high level, right? So Getira, we're a highly specialized service. We only do this. This is the world we live in. Of FB auditing and reimbursements. We don't provide any other solutions. Okay, maybe all other solutions that we provide are educational, stuff like that, but it's free. We don't charge for that. Okay, we have ex-Amazonians processing reimbursement claims. So a big part of our team are former Amazon employees. We process over 30 types of reimbursement claims I showed in the past slide. We conduct audits daily. So on daily basis, your Amazon account gets handled if there's issues that need to be handled. We provide international coverage. So wherever you're selling in the world, we cover you. We're available on the Amazon App Store. I touched that earlier. And Amazon Seller Central Partner Network, touched that earlier. Okay. Other options, there might be good, but typically look for these elements for the other options to see if they're missing. So non-specialized service, right? So they kind of do it as API refunds are like an absolute feature. So they do like 100 things. They also kind of do reimbursement, which is cool. But because of that, they're not really focused on it and getting you the maximum. They get you a little, if you owe $10,000, it might get you $1,000, but the rest of the 9,000 not getting it. So you have to kind of be proactive to get the rest of the 9,000, right? Or they're gonna handle low hanging fruit, simple issues, not the complicated issues. Let's say the winning dimension fees. If somebody overcharge you, it's not so simple. It's complex financial claim that you need specialists to help you with it. So they might not do that. They don't take open cases across the finish line, meaning often they'll just find issues, they'll open a case, but if Amazon needs more information, more reconciliation, more data, they're just gonna set it and forget it. They're not gonna really reply, or they're gonna pray and they're gonna spray and pray. They're gonna open all these cases and hopefully pray that something comes out, or they might just be charging a subscription model. Say, pay me this subscription a month, and whatever I do for you in refunds, I'll do for you in refunds. It's not performance based. We can see that we're performance based, for example. Or they're not authorized by Amazon or using Amazon's API. There's some in basement somewhere far away around the world telling you, I want to do reimbursements. Maybe you should think twice, because what are they doing with your data? Okay, they're selling it, they're using it in your favor, not in your favor, things of that nature. Or other tools are just a tool. So you have to really take care of everything, but there's no case management. With Getira, we actually open the case and manage it for you with all the back and forth. So this is high level, kind of the difference when you're looking and shopping for auditing solutions out there. So hopefully this was helpful. But now this is kind of the climax moment. Okay, this is the moment of climax. Here I want really to illustrate to you guys the impact, the positive impacts, if you really maximize all the reimbursements that you're eligible to receive. So let's check this out. So you see this seller, it's a case study, it's an $18 million seller. They sold 300,000 units. 9,000 units got affected with all the issues, all the loss, damage, destroyed, disappeared, all the issues, which is 2.8% discrepancy rate. I remember, guys, I told you it's 1 to 3%. In this case, 2.8%. All right. So we help them recover $151,000 back in reimbursements. All right. Which added to the bottom line almost 11%. And why? Because before Getira, the profit was 1.3 million. We added 151,000 and boom, very dramatic, right? That, that recovery, going back 18 months and recovering 151,000, boom, it added 11%. And now there's two more layers of impact. So check this out. The second layer is this. So if you're selling your Amazon business, what's really, really cool about it is that, when you sell your Amazon business, you can ask Jamie all about it. You're selling EBITDA. You're selling your profit. So if your profit is $1 million a year, I'm going to pay you a 5x multiple, right? It means I'm going to pay you $5 million for your business. Okay, so let's say you're going to get a 5x for a business, and for one decision using Getira and getting all your refunds, you get $151,000, right? And you get 5x that amount. So this $151,000 is worth $750,000 on the way out, because you're able to get, improve your EBITDA by 151,000. So it's really, really powerful. And the last layer here is if you're buying an Amazon business. So if you buy an Amazon business, whoever sold you that business, that seller neglected and failed to go back 18 months and recover all the refunds, you do it. And all of a sudden, boom, you get 151,000 and you get a better ROI, return investment. Okay, so this is all financial sophistication that the big pros are doing it. Of course, the aggregators, when they buy a business, that's what they do. They go back 18 months, get all the money. Okay, so make sure you be on the right side and make all the right financial decisions on the way out, which takes me to, if you ever think about selling your Amazon business, or just really you want to make sure you do have a good Amazon business, consult a specialist. So I do recommend North Bank Group. Okay, just scan this this QR code, or just visit getira.com/MBG and reach out to these guys. The really smart guys that basically will make you understand what is your Amazon business, how it's working, what's working, what's not really working so well. So hopefully, if you know exactly what's going on, you yourself are going to have a good business for many years to come. Because if you have a good business and you're making a good living for many, many years, that's great. And because you have that, it's probably a good chance that once somebody will be willing to buy that business off your hand for a really good price, a premium price. So that's why I do recommend consulting with specialists to really make sure you position your business in the right way where it's just a healthy, smart, good business. And of course, if you want to press on the exit button, it's ready to go. You're shelf ready. So I do recommend that. Jamie, thoughts and ideas on this?
Yeah, I mean, I love it. Your point is a good one. A lot of people, I mean, back to your point about, when you think of a savings, like in terms of the value to your business or as of your asset of your brand, that, every dollar that you save or get back or improve is really worth, 4, 5, 6, potentially times, just to your point. So I think that's just an important one for everyone to remember, that on both ways, every dollar that, you overspend or, spend the way you shouldn't way also, creates that. And that's not even for an Amazon, that's for every business out there that's actually sellable. It's an asset, but every single one of you guys that are building, even if you're just starting off, just keep that in mind. That's the beautiful thing around this model. So I think that's I like that. I like that example as well too. So
Nice.
and good stuff. Yeah. And I like the Northbound stuff too, since I do some stuff with Northbound Group.
Congratulations for that, by the way. Congratulations. I it's not because of you. I do just everywhere I go, I preach NBG. But happens to be today you're newly into that team, so congratulations. I think it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, no, I know it's good. It's good. I know actually the Northbound's had some good referrals, I think, from you guys already. So it's good. But that's just, back to your point, like the slide before where it's like us versus the other guys. I think, for myself, Joey, I mean, one of the things we do, one of the reasons why we go to the events is like we love to see, hang out with the top minds in the space and see what we think and bring back some of the best people back to our community online here when we're not in person. But with that in mind, there's like a lot of providers for everything, but like what Joey and I do, we just try to find like the best. And so, I mean, frankly, you guys have been hear us talk like for software, we talk about Helium 10 a lot. In this space, it's really Getita. I used to work with a smaller provider initially. And then I think Getita, I think you guys gobbled them up a few years back, REA back in the day. And so, that's the thing with this business. Like there's a lot of different ways, but it's like, hey, try to find the best providers to do things. I always say we like to do business with people we like and people we trust. And then the money kind of will take care of itself. But on the Getita side, I think they are the clear leaders in it. And then if you go to an event in person, and it's a lot of fun too. So, they put a lot of effort and energy, and you can see the stuff that they share and the content here that Yoni's sharing. It's not about Getita specifically. It's a great solution, but it's also a lot of value they provide to the community. So, that's something, you guys should all take note of.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jamie. All right, so that takes me to I got us a peak moment before one last word about MBG Northbound Group. We go back with Scott, I think 5-6 years since we met him. So like I said, great people create good solutions, good industry. So definitely MBG for us is a benchmark, and we look up to MBG. But another point here on a recent example actually, which is really exciting. We got a feedback from the user, so I wanted to bring you guys to your attention that we got this user $163,000 in reimbursements, and they were able to get a 7x multiple on their exit. So they got close to $1 million or maybe a little bit more on the way out, just because of all the refunds they were able to secure for them on the way out. So that was really, really exciting. So I wanted to bring that to your attention. And now we did prepare a special offer for the MZ Insiders community and family. So if you want, you'll get your first $400 in FBA refunds will be free. We're not going to charge you a penny, just to give it a taste or give it a little try. So it's a guarantee. So no matter what, for putting up with me for like a whole hour, you'll get $400 extra in your pocket. It might take us a few days or a few weeks, but you're gonna get $400 extra in your pocket. After $400, if you want to leave us, you can leave us. If you want to stay, you can stay. Whatever you want, it's fine. You can just visit getita.com/insiders400. You'll be able to clip up the offer, or you can just scan this code and just do it directly where it takes you to clip the offer. Yeah, so that's kind of it. I want to recap. We started, the whole idea was how to really make more profit. That's the main theme of this presentation. And we found it in a few sources, right? We found out how, are utilizing Amazon's programs and promotions and stuff like that, you'll be able to pretty much pay less in fees. And if you do that properly, boom, it's a lot of profit. And I taught you a few of the fundamentals of how to reconcile your own, inventory on Amazon and FBA, and find opportunities to recover funds. And if you do, boom, once again, your profit lifts up. And I gave you some tools that you can kind of read out all the money that's coming in, all the money coming out, and also profit and loss tools to really be able to see if you are making money or losing money. We touched upon all the, the winning dimension, the strategies, how to reduce the winning dimension. So hopefully you'll pay less in fees and make more money. So put it all together. Hopefully you guys, learn something new, something that's valuable that you'll be able to really apply properly and really get a lift in all that cash that's flowing into your business. Keep investing, keep growing. This is in a boom town. This is a boom industry. Lots of opportunity, but it's you got to be a student of the game. You got to constantly absorb, what's going on and how things constantly evolve and change, and stay open to it and be comfortable with change, because it's like a cliche, right? The only thing that doesn't change is change. Okay, so today, hopefully with this presentation, something changed in your favor, so you're going to continue succeeding in this industry. That's it. So any questions, feel free to reach out directly. This is my email, yoni@megatita.com, or gatita.com/yoni-info. This is my, you can just scan this, you'll get to my, my information page. And
Yeah.
I do see the question from William Groves. Gatita is free to join, it's free to stay. We only charge a fee based on recovery, and the fee is 25%. So for example, you set up with Gatita, and the next 30 days we get you $100. So 25% from 25% from $100 will be $25. And then the next 30 days we get you $0. You pay $0, right? So we only charge a fee based on recovery. But also the first $400 will be free, just so you can try it out, see if it makes sense for you, and if you like it. Hopefully, William, that answered it. Thank you. I see Paul. Thank you, Arvil. Thank you, and Lana. Feel free to any questions. Yeah, drop it in.
How about Carmen's question? She asked, how often would you reconcile?
We do it daily. So when you connect to Gatita, our system just runs daily. It's a beast in a good way. Just make sure to really take care of you nonstop.
Yeah, no, what I would add, a couple things. One is, Yoni, great presentation. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I know I did. I know Joey and I were chatting, so we both, this was fantastic. The other one is, to me, it's like a no-brainer. It's like an irresistible offer, right? They put out there. So it's like, hey, it's free to join, it's free to stay, it's free to leave, that type thing. But so truly, it's like a no-brainer. I know you had the link up there, but again, maybe put it up one more time just to make sure if anyone didn't. It's just like I said, to me, it's just kind of like of anything, because it's literally cost you nothing, and you get a $400 offer there. So like I said, I call it like I see it, and I just think that they're like, Gatita is just like really smart, even how they position things, right? It's like pretty much it's why they're the dominant player, amongst other reasons, like make it super easy for you. And so definitely, like 100% of you guys take advantage of it, because there's zero reason not to. But cool. That being said, Amy says, thank you, very illuminating. Albert, how long to go through someone's account the first time after setting up? Albert,
it's a good question. I want to touch on for a second. So what we're going to do is when you set it up, we're going to go back 18 months on your account, and depends on how many transactions or initiatives we're going to find. So if we find a lot of things, right, it can take maybe up to 90 days to dig back and fix all of those and put your account up to date. So high level, it can take up to 90 days to clean up the account and flush it with all this money you never dreamed to have. That's phase one. And phase two is month to month. As the issues come in, we're we're always on watching and making sure that we got your back. The whole idea for us is that it's together. We do encourage you guys to do as much as you can on your own to get all your money, and then you can plug in Gatita. Whatever you guys missed out on, we'll be able to to find, put it back in your pocket, and only if we're successful, we're going to get rewarded. And the partnership in such a degree where it helps you guys to really focus on the business, on the future, sourcing, launching, marketing, branding, generating sales. That is actually the business. The business is not really going back into the past, so that's what we're like archaeologists. We always look into the past. We come with our toothbrushes, we brush the sand and all the dirt and the rubble. We find a golden coin. We put them back in your pocket, and only if we're successful, we get rewarded. So you guys really focus on the future, facing forward. We always kind of got your back. And that's kind of the alignment that you usually see, or strategic over the years with sellers. And we find it to be very, very productive in the past 7 years. So hopefully we'll be able to to partner with you guys as well. Yeah. Jamie, Joey, back to you guys.
Yeah. Joe, any other thoughts on your end?
Just thoughts for our members who are just setting up their accounts and maybe just recently launched their product or in the process of it. Is that still a good time to?
Yeah. Even if we have sellers that even before they actually sell anything, but they already shipped products into Amazon, or they're about to ship, they just plug it in so they know that we got their back. So they really can focus on everything else instead of a constant look behind the shoulder. So no problem, because it's free to join. So it could be a brand newbie or doing hundreds of millions. No problem at all for us.
Great. Yeah. Really good. Joe, anything else?
No, that was awesome. Thank you so much for presenting. I think this is like unique information that we don't talk about all the time. So it's really cool to have, bring up things that aren't necessarily problems, because you have a really good solution and you can make money off of it.
Yeah, that's kind of the idea. The idea is, yeah.
Well, it's cool because at the events, it's like a lot of fun, and Yoni and his team are like helping out in different ways. They have tabling, but you don't necessarily, he doesn't necessarily get like an hour to typically present or to go through a lot of different stuff. So it tends to be like,
yeah, this was course level presentation education. So hopefully you guys have this recording. You can, I know I talk fast also. I try to unpackage package a lot of information in a very short amount of time. It's probably a few good hours of information. You got it in 1 hour. It's like a zip file. So you can make it go a bit slower if
you
needed.
play it back at 0.75.
Yeah.
And,
and then also I'll send you guys the slides, so you can also work with the slides, and you can scan those QR codes to go to Amazon system and really go more in depth if you like. Yeah, this is really course level grade. With love to you guys to make sure that you guys really are a better environment right now.
Yeah, for all you guys in our coaching program, like most of you guys are, this will all go into your pro academy. So we will definitely add that. Joey and I were just going through that last week with what topics we're going to add, and this is definitely one. And I think Yoni definitely over delivered probably what we expected with some of the other insights. That was really, really cool. Which again, for all of us, is why you have to like be out there. Joey and I just put up an Instagram reel. We had like 9,000 views, or just under 9,000 views, like in a couple hours. But it was just around like getting out there, plugging into communities, listening, because you've got to be aware of what's going on. So yeah, Yoni, I definitely really appreciate you. I know I'm gonna I fly to Tampa tomorrow. You flying to Tampa tomorrow?
Yeah. I'm headed from Newark Airport. Yeah.
Everyone will take a picture of Yoni and I tomorrow. We'll be waiting for Joey to secretly come in and crash the party.
Private jet.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, right out of Austin, Texas. Come on. But yeah, so it won't be a long time. And again, for all you guys, get out there and get to some events. I know it's you can't go to every event like Yoni and Joey and I get to a decent amount as well too. But the more you can, the more you can help out. But cool. Yeah, thanks Yoni. Thank you again. And yeah, if you guys feel free to put any comments in there, feel free to reach out to us with anything. Hopefully you guys scanned it. If any of you guys missed it or anything else, feel free to reach out to Joey and I, and we'll make sure we get it to you as well too. And again, I know Yoni's being generous to we'll coordinate, get the slides and all that good stuff for you as well. Juan says, thank you. Chad, great info. Nikki, thank you. And again, this is also, some of our other groups are being live streamed. So those guys didn't hear the chat, but this was fun. So, all right, Yoni, we'll see you tomorrow at the party.
You got it. Take care, everybody. Good luck.
Enjoy.
All right, good night, everyone. All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.